I think that maybe, how would I say this? A recurring fundamental conflict at the core of Slobcore, just generally my creative work and what what I decide to create and make and play with. I think a fundamental conflict at me sharing online like this and just posting and just expressing myself is, I was thinking about the term influencer and how much like personally just like influencing and being a creator, like those phrases are very internet. And no shade to any creators or influencers out there, but I feel a core, I don't know. I feel distant from each of those, and neither of those feel very good to me when I think about myself and what I'm doing. And I think part of that is just maybe from the way that to influence someone, like I have so much apprehension about doing that. I treat people with a very light touch, I guess. Like even I'm not much of an arguer or a convincer or a debater, really. Like or a persuader, especially. Like I feel like I can be pretty persuasive and people do listen to me, which throughout my whole life, that's been like a reason why I kind of hold back, because that feels like a lot of weight and pressure onto me. Like I don't want to control other people or to like push other people around. And so I think my reaction to that is I've always just been more of like a sit back and like talk to people and listen. But pretty chill, pretty quiet, especially when I was younger. I think I was sometimes quiet and awkward. And part of that, because I was just hanging out, like taking it all in. I've always considered myself a much better reader than a writer. And I do think that's true. But part of the reason it's true is because I was so turned off from writing. And I think that probably ties into these same issues I've had with properly expressing myself or sharing what's on my mind or being able to speak without instantly judging and holding back. And so, yeah, I think about this stuff a lot because one thing I'm very curious about, and I think this is definitely a thing, but when I started really posting on Instagram and maybe especially started making the Slobcore videos, in a way, it felt like I probably just popped back into people's like peripherals and especially I'm thinking just like random friends from like elementary school, middle school, and high school and college. Like quarantine was such a thing where everyone was online in a new way, sort of. And so anyway, I think me emerging like that, I wonder if it like shocked or surprised people like, oh, that's what Brendan's doing. Oh, Brendan's like just putting himself out there and just being creative and expressing myself. And at least for me, it felt like in ways that I have been able to do in fits and bursts, but I feel more connected with my own creative potential rather than having my own self-evaluation and lack of self-worth and lack of confidence. Just letting many things stop me from even engaging in creating or doing silly little stuff like this. So I don't know. I'm always curious about other people's perception of me. I mean, I think everyone is. That's just the human condition. But yeah, anyway, I think that this pressure and this constant like thought and question in my head, I do think that plays out in just the stuff that I make and the ways that I talk and the ways I think of things and what I choose to make. And I think it's one of the reasons that people have resonated with it. And even people that I've never met seem to like my stuff. And it's not like I'm super amazingly popular, but to strike, it just feels very cool that people are kind of picking up what I'm putting down, especially after a lifetime of being so nervous about what I'm putting down and how it's being perceived and all the things that go into an anxious mind. So yeah, I guess that's I haven't made overnight oats in a while, but this is gonna be my overnight oats thoughts. So hope you enjoyed listening. This was a 5-minute baby.